Oh, yes.
Hello.
Welcome everybody to Art First. Happy Friday, Brian.
Happy Friday.
Good to see you.
It's great to see you too.
Yeah.
I just wanted to quickly give a shout out to Ayla for filling in for me on the last episode. She did awesome, and you did great as always.
Thank you. She really did. She was a fantastic host, and but we are very glad to have you back in good health and good spirits, even after a little bumpy ride after the fact. But welcome back, dude. Good to have you.
Great to be
here.
What I missed.
A lot went on, man. The market decided it was not as happy as it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh man,
that's okay. That's okay. We can't control
I'm learning this for the first time.
Yeah, this is like you're waking up. You went to Marfa.
I did. Yeah, that was great. And I got to see our guest on the show today, who was awesome in Marfa as always. Should we just bring him on?
We should. You didn't just get to meet him. I mean, like, from my understanding is that you dominated him in a competition, and he can't refute that because he's down below, and it's just
it's true. To his credit, he was a finalist, one of the 3 top artists. But that shout out to the transient folks for putting on the competition. It was really fun just to see all of these artists that we're friends with and get to have fun and make goofy stuff and kind of vibe coding in as fast as you can. And it was really cool to see what everybody made.
That's awesome. You're breaking up just a little bit there at the end there. That's okay. You broke up on a smiling face, so you don't have a weird face right now. So that's good.
Am I still frozen?
But in the meantime, no, still robot-y. Because, technology.
Okay, cool.
I'll tell you when you come back.
I probably have too much stuff running.
There you go. So today on the show, we are excited to talk to our guest because he is, I'm saying multidisciplinary artist. I can see you moving now, Brian. Multidisciplinary artist. He's very good, very good at distilling concepts to iconography, right? Almost like a modern hieroglyphics is how I would kind of describe a lot of his art. Usually very colorful and very easily identifiable and really fun. And he's just an overall really great dude. So let's welcome to the show, everybody, Vinnie Hager. Hello.
Hey.
How
are you?
Good. Welcome, dude.
Great to see you, dude.
Happy Friday.
Friday.
I would say one of the most recognizable brands in Web3.
Wow, thank you.
And I say that as someone who wears your sweatpants and hoodie all the time. They always get great compliments. Everybody recognizes your work immediately, and that says a lot.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm sure we'll dive into it, but a very proud thing. And thanks for saying that.
Of course.
Yeah, it's something that I think most artists in the current digital age, right, of social media and of the moment, do tend to try to strive to have that sort of easily identifiable look and feel, and I think a lot of people struggle with that. But when you find something that you love to do and then you're able to just make that your identity, I think that's really cool. And I think you've done that really well over the years.
Thanks. Yeah, I think I know we're going to talk about some process things, but I've been having a love-hate relationship with my my icons and things, and wanting to kind of break different molds and experiment with them differently. And so I think it's just such a great time to chat and to talk through some of that stuff today.
And I think that's a relatable thing for every artist, is that you don't want to get stuck in a corner. But I think that I've already seen you kind of expand out of it, and it all feels different yet recognizable. But
I think I'll pull up your latest piece, which is, like you said, kind of like a departure in a way from just the icons, but they're also still very much there. Is this beautiful piece here that you had, and I believe this was recently. It's hung up in a gallery show in Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's currently on view in a current space in Baltimore. It's like an artist-run space. They just celebrated 20 years in Baltimore.
Nice.
Been going there for past, 4, 5, 6 years, and it was great to have a duo show up there currently with another Baltimore-based artist, Emma Childs, and a good friend of mine, Terry Henderson. She curated the show, so it's great to work with some kind of great Baltimore crew and to show some kind of larger paintings and other mixed media works, and definitely wanted to not spread my wings, but stretch out a little bit and make some kind of larger physical work. I needed to kind of take a little break from screens and other digital projects and just wanted to do some painting. So it felt good to kind of expand my visual language a little bit and to try to, I think I'm really wanting to like abstract the shapes and symbols and contort them and blend them into something else where it's just not that bold hard line that I used to do a lot. So kind of in that phase of seeing where it can go, pushing it a little, getting out of my comfort zone, and feels really good to kind of work in those ways.
No,
yeah. I mean, it looks enormous. First off,
it is, right?
How long did it take you to create this piece?
So I think I had a studio in Baltimore maybe 2.5 years ago for a year. I had it for a year. Had no Wi-Fi, no AC. Ceiling was falling. It was like a fun kind of Baltimore studio, but it wasn't my forever studio. But I started working on these kind of larger canvas pieces there. There's 3 kind of larger paintings in this show in particular, and kind of started those when I had this studio space. They since were kind of rolled up and they were just sitting for a while, and I revisited them in September and started reworking on them for the show. So they went through some different iterations, but kind of finished them up, got them to a good point to display. Like a month or 2 ago.
So is this this is on canvas then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Built the frame, learned how to like stretch canvas and build the stretcher bars. Cool. It's kind of a just a fun way to like kind of enter maybe a more painterly era.
I love that.
Yeah.
Trying to always gauge what mediums or materials to explore and how to do that within each one, and then within my own visual language. So it's this kind of constant tug and pull of like, oh, I have a bunch of ideas for digital stuff, or we were just in Marfa, so I'm like so inspired, generative code, and like, oh, I have a ton of ideas for that, but then I'm pulled to working on paintings or clothing and all these things. So sometimes recently it's been like, well, I got to zoom out a little bit and maybe just be a little bit more direct with a couple.
Yeah. So with this piece, I'm curious, how do you approach it? Do you sketch it first? Do you do these? I see there's like these lines that flow big. Do you start with this like big overarching lines and paint within them? Or are you tackling this like corner quadrant at a time kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely quadrant at a time. So this specific canvas was even larger canvas. I had this huge kind of unrolled canvas up in the studio, and I would just go from kind of space to space and just fill it in, paint here. I start with one color, just go yellow here, yellow there, and just kind of mark it and then fill in the space and have it kind of build up over time. And then there's kind of larger swaths, or that movement kind of came later in it to try to have some more movement and things towards the end. But a lot of layers, a lot of just building it all up. Where I think a lot of my other artwork was kind of one pass. It was just filled top to bottom, sort of. And this one I tried to do more layers.
It also looks like you found yourself going from a more minimalist extreme to maximalist, right? Like that in that sort of push and pull. It seems like you felt yourself swinging the pendulum the exact opposite way. Is that fair to say? Like in terms of how you wanted to approach all the color, all the icons, smush it all together, get it all like it's full of energy.
Totally. Yeah, I think in maybe my more traditional drawing practice, everything's very evenly spaced. There's always kind of a border. It's very contained in a lot of ways. And this, I kind of wanted like this eruption or this maximal kind of all over the space. Even the sides of this painting or cover, the canvas kind of wraps all the way around. So I learned a lot about my own artwork in the last few years. My girlfriend's an art therapist, so we'll talk about different things we see in artwork and different patterns, no pun intended, that I would do, and trying to break some of those patterns all in the name of like exploration and trying to push my artwork into different mediums and materials and to kind of really switch it up. So it was nice, and learning about a lot of that stuff and maybe how some of my patterns came to be. I'm really interested in trying to break those patterns in more ways than one.
What materials are you using for this? It looks like a mix of things, but I don't want to speculate when we can actually find out. Like, what
Yeah,
are we putting together here?
spray paint, oil pastel, acrylic paint, house paint, little bunch of different markers, those kind of crink markers with the kind of circular top.
You found all those mediums like work together well, or did they kind of break each other a little bit? Because it seems like the oil pastel, trying to draw with that, does that dry well, or is it like,
does it dry ever?
Find yourself, are you fighting against these mediums when you mix them like that?
Sort of, yeah. Sometimes they'll get kind of muddy in certain ways and not collide well with what's next to it. But for me, it was like, maybe not having a full painting background or how to use the materials properly. It's like more of like, I'm just going to have fun and try to push all this stuff around and kind of make it make it recognizable with my own kind of artwork prior. So a lot of exploration, which was kind of always what I've been trying to do with my artwork, get kind of comfortable with something and then try to do the exact opposite, or to break it, get out of my comfort zone by doing something next.
Well, you get that kind of natural kind of grittiness, and I don't know, there's like a fuzzy texture to it that I think gives it more vibrancy. It makes it feel a little more animated almost. If it was like clean lines, it would feel more still.
Totally.
And so it adds to the kind of frenetic aspect.
And thinking about that, I've been trying to looking at my older artworks, it was usually one very 2D flat plane of shapes and symbols patterns fill the space. And now, especially in some of my other digital artworks, well, letters, for example, perfect. It's just fill the shapes top to bottom, fill it, change the colors, change the background. Most of the imagery is sort of the same. But with these newer physical and digital works, trying to kind of abstract them and personify the shapes and symbols in a lot of different ways, give them more meaning, where before it was just about filling the space, really, put it on, explore digital, you can draw on shoes, you can do prints, you can do paintings, you can do furniture, murals, all kind of filling the space with these shapes and symbols. And now I'm trying to, especially in this collection, it was kind of like personifying the shapes, giving them a little bit more meaning.
Yeah. And I think this was one of those. The Once More Then Again collection was really interesting to see you. This was the one right before this, right? Like this was the prior to this was the most recent. So it felt like pushing yourself further into what these icons could be or what they could do. And with the animation and these loops, but like these kind of imperfect loops and graininess in here and grittiness. And it feels like this was almost like, I guess now in hindsight, like a love letter to that whole time in your life, moving, not that you might not go back, but like moving out of that to get to something that's even more, for the lack of a better word, messy in a good way. Right. Like sort of complicated and really just like letting yourself get lost in the work.
Yeah. It's almost like trying to figure out myself through just working, and like not trying to be so precious with a lot of things. Sometimes I think artists are always like, oh, it's got to be perfect. But that level of perfection is only in the own artist's mind. Like you could just kind of work on something forever. It could never be finished, or is it too minimal? Is it too maximal? is it something I've already done before? And it's kind of constant back and forth, or at least that's what I've been experiencing, of like,
oh yeah,
looking at what I've done in the past, trying to project in the future and plan on certain projects and what I want to work on. And sometimes it gets very muddy in the imagery, hoping that kind of works itself out while just making things.
Yeah, and you're notorious for just making things, right? So like at the top of this, and I because I don't remember if we said it on the show here, or if we said it prior to the show starting, but you're talking about hoodies and sweatpants and swag and other apparel, but then items, like I remember being pretty awestruck seeing your work getting turned into concrete, as a medium. I'm super curious about pieces like this and how that even works. I have no idea.
Yeah, it was an arduous process, might be the word if I'm using it correctly, but
okay.
I think, long story short, during the pandemic in Baltimore, I'd gotten in contact with this this developer who was, working on buildings and architecture and different things in Baltimore, and they had kind of a retail space that was boarded up. They didn't have any retailers in the space, and they wanted an artist to kind of paint a mural on the outside of this building, do something for the neighborhood. It was the pandemic, et cetera. So I painted this large scale mural. Got a lot of great feedback from the neighborhood. People were really interested. What is this thing? What are these shapes? Great feedback. And the development company was really stoked on it. And they were like, hey, we might have another project for you to work on. We're going to be building this new modern apartment complex, from scratch in the same neighborhood where I did this mural. And they wanted to kind of find a way to cast my shapes and symbols into the facade of the elevator shaft around the whole building.
Wow.
So with some back and forth, of course, they were sending templates and drawing things to scale and figuring out the size of the shapes and symbols and what we wanted to do. So I drew it on a digital template and sent it over. And I wish I was a little bit more hands-on with the actual building of the building.
Okay.
But they built like a mold and kind of pressed the concrete in with that mold to create the relief of the concrete we see here. So they had built like a tester wall in a parking lot that was sitting outside for a while. And then they built the real wall during the building here. So, they had to build the elevator kind of first around the whole building was my kind of thinking. But they would send update photos every 3 or 4 months. And it was like 2.5 years. And I just recently saw it finished maybe June or July. And so there's 2 floors. The lobby, when you walk in, has it, the artwork on the elevator. And then this is the library floor, which is kind of cool. So they made these carpets, and
Wow.
somebody that worked on the project sent me these photos, which I thought was great. And when I went and saw it in person, I was like, there's just no way that is my artwork. It was kind of like, I wouldn't have thought of doing a project like that, but I was well open to doing it.
Oh, that's
It's like a
fantastic.
collaboration. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think so? Is this floor though? You didn't draw that, right? They kind of reinterpreted your art.
Well, let me think.
Or maybe it came from templates.
I
Maybe
think I
like the
had
same-
drawn. I remember I drew an elevator shaft template a couple different times because we didn't know how small
okay.
we could get the concrete, and I think I did that as well for the carpets. But
Nice.
maybe they
That
had a
turned out
little
awesome.
leniency in the sizing and those things. But yeah, super cool. And then in the space, it's like very soft and then very hard, obviously. So having those in the room together are cool.
Wow, it's really awesome, man. And like I said, evolutionary, like in terms of your practice, and to go from that to this, it's really cool to see the details on here, right? Like, did you find yourself? I know I've been doing abstract for a little while now, and a lot of the pieces that I do, there's a lot of meaning in each section. So I would imagine, like you said, you keep coming back to this. What's the process been like for, the intention behind parts of this?
Yeah, I think for me it was, first thought is like just layering, like trying to build up paint. I know layering is like very big in digital. It's very big in most kind of artistic mediums, but for me, it was always this kind of one pass of shapes and symbols, and I wouldn't layer a ton. So going back into these certain sections, like the color wheel at the top of the painting, I painted that in like every time with those colors, every time, just to kind of build up that pop of color. And that was something so simple that I just didn't really do a lot. If I was drawing or if I was working on a mural, it was always just one pass, fill the space. And now it's trying to build on top of those layers. And a lot of my kind of recent digital work too is kind of trying to build on top of layers more. And kind of, there's little stories for each little section, or there's little scenes, there's like a garden or some water, or, there's some type of scene in there, which is also something I've been trying to work on, depicting a scene instead of just pattern.
Have you tried bringing this digitally at all, or animating, or doing, because like this lends itself visually, like there's so much motion in this piece, right?
Sure.
Not that it needs to be animated, but have you explored anything digitally or otherwise that actually does add like motion to it?
Yeah. maybe not this one specifically, but some of the other paintings in the show, I've definitely like tried to scan them in or take photos, and then was doing some like Photoshop layering and putting some digital elements on top and trying to just explore in there for fun. So yeah, something I like to do. Motion is always tough for me. I haven't gotten there just yet. I've started to do some kind of frame by frame animations, and Blender's always been elusive to me. I could never really figure it out. But something I, eventually would love to do more.
How much does
you do a lot of motion and animations and things like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do. How much? But I wonder about, like, in terms of process, how much, if any, does music play a role in your work?
Definitely usually have music or something playing in the background, a YouTube documentary, books are around. Music, maybe subconsciously plays a big part. I remember one of my favorite middle school art teachers was like, if you're gonna work on artwork, and you're gonna play music, don't play anything with words. You'll be thinking too much about the words and not what you're working on. So play like instrumental music. And I always thought that was kind of cool. I kept it in the back of my head. So maybe jazz or something's playing, or but I think there's no direct correlation other than maybe titles of artworks. I definitely take from music quite a bit.
That's cool. How do you know when one of these is done, right? Like, because I would imagine, and that's, it's a question we all kind of wrestle with, but like when you sat back in this and didn't feel the need to go back in and noodle and put and add and do.
Well, I definitely felt that I wanted to keep doing it. I think by Saving Grace, there was a deadline. So I was like, I have to be done, which is always like, I don't mind a deadline. It helps a lot. But it kind of continued to feel that like, I want to keep painting. I want to keep working on these things, which is always a great feeling. But I think deadline came and I was like, okay, let's lay this thing out. Let's stretch it. Let's hang it on the wall. And it's going to have to, it's meant to be how it is. But it could definitely noodle a lot more and would love to. So we'll see what happens next.
Yeah. Do you feel like there was, since you were talking about using all these different mediums and some of them got a little muddy and didn't work always with each other, did you find one that, because this feels like the first exploration of like, what do I want to do? And you're a kid in a candy store, you've got all these tools at your disposal, let's just throw it all at the wall. Do you feel like you would continue to do something like that, or do you think you would explore like, I really loved like one type of medium or two types of mediums, or
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, great question. I think like acrylic paint, I've been like, okay, maybe I could just try to use acrylic paint. Maybe it's not every medium. I tried to do just an oil painting a couple months ago, just to use brushes and just oil paint. And that was so foreign to me, just kind of sticking with one medium and like not stretching out too far. So I definitely like to kind of squeeze the parameters within some of the next works. But it's always changing. It's always fun just to keep exploring.
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm just getting lost in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got like this little like snake character down here in the bottom left next to this big peace sign. And then there's kind of like a river. Yeah, there's a snake, peace sign to the right, this kind of river.
I like the water in the bottom middle. Yeah. Little waves.
Yeah, and then there's some like flies above the right under these eyeballs. And
I like this. I don't know if this was intentionally to make a face here, but I'm seeing like two eyes, almost a nose and ear, kind of like hair, orange hair, and this. Totally. This is working as a face for me.
And that's one of the other things where I think though there was a lot of interpretation about my prior artwork with the straight shapes and symbols, people would see different things that I would never have thought they were, which was great. But a work like this, there's really more room for interpretation, I think, in a lot of ways, or how things connect, or the imagery that's in there. And that was always fun too, during the opening, hearing what people would see in it and kind of connecting in person too about what's in the artwork, what does it mean, so those things are always nice to kind of pick people's brains and see what they see in it too.
Nice. I was looking. Piece available.
It is. Yep.
You hear that, folks?
If you have large enough space, and we're having the closing reception is on November 2nd in Baltimore. So any DMV friends come by. We're going to do a little artist talk, and it'll be great. So it's definitely a nice foray of me to kind of do an exhibition like this, a kind of a proper exhibition. Felt great that it was in Baltimore, and I think it will be something I want to continue to do in my kind of ever-changing creative practice.
Have you considered doing anything sculptural?
Yes, I think that's going to be the next iteration. I have some ideas for some new installation object pieces with like screen. Well, in this show, I really wanted to do like a screen sculpture. I wanted to put some type of digital artwork in it, digital sculpture, but just with the time constraints and some too many moving parts, I couldn't make it happen. But next one, I got some good plans. So we'll see.
That's awesome, man.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, after seeing that elevator one, it'd be cool just to get like a little concrete like desk version of that.
Well, almost exactly what I was thinking. I had mentioned that they made this tester wall and they demolished it because whenever it was done. So I have a big chunk of the tester concrete wall, and I wanted to kind of shimmy, chisel out a way and put a screen in it or something. And that was going to be the sculptural work for the show. And there's like half a flower imprinted on the chunk, and I had some of these ideas, but they were just a little big lifts for what I could do, maybe, by myself at the time. So as we plan for the future, would love to do some more things like that, kind of blending the physical and digital mediums in interesting ways, as I think a lot of us do.
Yeah. And I think, especially some of the iconic, iconography work that you do is suits, well suited for sculptural interpretations. This is really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been something I've been trying to do kind of an overview of, especially this year. A lot of like ups and downs, thinking of like, well, I've done this within my artwork. I've explored these things. I really want to kind of start getting it a little bit more concise and planned out as I move forward. Trying to look for a new studio and just kind of a place to work on all the above, projects, commissions, physical, digital, all that. It's been a little up in the air, creatively wise, like trying to find proper time to work on proper projects. But it's been exciting, and it's always ebbing and flowing, which I think for artists sometimes feels like it's the end of the world and we don't know what we're doing or what's going to come next.
Yep. It's like every day.
Yeah, and I know we've all experienced that, especially in our world, but. It's just exciting. It keeps me. It's obviously something we wake up and look forward to doing and keep creating. So we'll see what comes next.
Yeah. Well, that is really awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that insight with us. I feel like there's been, when you look at somebody's art, especially when the artwork tends to be, a little bit more pared down, right? You tend to forget all the things that really go into those types of decisions, and the exploration that comes from, just making icons in one way and then, transmuting that into so many different mediums and then pushing yourself, so it's been, I think it's a really cool evolution of your style.
Well, thanks. Yeah. I'm glad it kind of comes off that way. It's, always a personal battle, and always wanting to have it evolve. You don't want it to feel stagnant.
Yeah, I think having that understanding is key too, because I do feel like there are some artists that get hung up on this worked, so I have to do this, and I can only do this, and if I don't do this, no one will see me, and then I don't want to do it, but then they get stale and they get afraid to take that risk.
Yeah, I think it's good for like the personal creative process is to always evolve or try to push yourself into uncomfortable things, whether it's like minting your artwork for the first time or painting a mural that you've never done or any of those things has helped me. But definitely there's a level of being comfortable in one's own artwork and just doing what's there. So it's a weird thing to juggle, but it's all to each their own.
You're balancing it well.
Thank you. Trying.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Speaking of balance, we're kind of at that halfway point in the show where we balance the time where we talk about your art versus the art we've all brought to show and tell.
Segue.
Excited. Let's
Thank
show.
you. We're almost at episode 50, Brian. I'm so close to getting these segues down.
I'm impressed.
Guys want to do a little show and tell?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's run it.
Woo.
Here's a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Clear.
Okay, perfect. So this is the part of the show where we have each brought 3 pieces of artwork that we've either collected, which is really awesome, and the artists deserve a little bit of more of a lift. And we all haven't seen what everyone's picked out. So we're just going to go kind of down the row and see what kind of art we can lift up. Also, at the end of the show, we have Art First show on Twitter. And that's where we'll repost all of the artwork you've seen here today, plus all of Vinnie's work and other links. So
Great.
Maybe even pick up some pieces.
Now
All right.
you're starting to cut out by the end of that. Yeah.
Story
Now
short, check out other artists.
Cool. Now you're working.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, here we go. So, Vinnie, we're going to start with you. Here is a piece, Reverie. Reverie number 251. This piece here, which I'm going to try to make it a little larger. There we go. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at?
Yeah.
And why?
So of course, in my traversing of the Twitter landscape, I try to curate my feed, just all artwork, and as we all try to do. And stumbled upon this artist, Gucci for My Cat, I believe is his handle.
Yep.
And I believe they're out of France, but they were making these comics with no words. And in my search for creating scenes and stories through the imagery of artwork, this was kind of in a comic book style, so you could kind of make up your own story about each one in this kind of fun MS Paint kind of style. So I ended up minting one when they were available, and I'm not sure if it was this exact one, but the whole collection is great, and kind of just being able to make stories up about them. And I thought it was fun, and I explored their physical works. They have a painting practice of these kind of different anime girls and fun things to do. So I just like the imagery. So some are a little, I think this one, 51, is the one I have. So it's got some Pokemon. I'm always drawing Pokemon, and I don't know. I just kind of went down the rabbit hole of their artwork, Gucci for My Cat, and loved it. And we were chatting a little bit and tried to get some physical artwork from them, but which is somebody that was on my radar that I kind of really enjoyed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where'd you mint it from? Is it from that like vvv.so?
Yeah.
Okay. I was browsing through that the other day. That's a really interesting platform and collections.
They got some cool stuff up there.
You gotta send it to me, or send.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
it's like a subgenre meta going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was cool.
That's cool.
Really liked him. Shout out Gucci for My Cat.
Yeah,
Nice.
This is cool. I hadn't seen this.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost like a post nostalgia feel. If that's a thing, that's how I'd describe this. It's really, I don't know. And then there's like that sort of like MS Paint almost, with gradients. Like there's something really nice about it, nostalgic about it.
Mm-hmm. I think you can almost like read it as like a manga or a comic book, and you can try to make up like a story as you go down each one, and the characters involved and how those characters kind of show up in other pieces. And I thought it was fun and really cool to kind of dive into.
Right on.
Good find.
All right, Brian, you are up next. Let's stick with some color and some generative color here.
Yes.
Nice.
And there it goes. This tell us about this piece. I think this
This is Manuel. I picked this up while I was in Marfa. He had a stand at the Marfa art fair. But this is actually currently minting on Art Block Studio. I believe the mint is closing in the next hours or day. But it's a collaboration between him and the Generative Art Fund that Jeff and Snowfro run. So the proceeds go to that. But I thought this was just a really great little generative project that is really fun to look at and how it kind of moves around and kind of the lines and the tessellation and all this other stuff. It's just a fun mix, and I was impressed. He showed it to me while I was in Marfa. I was like, oh, I'm going to mint this right now.
That's awesome. Manuel Larino is his name, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really fun. I like the colors. I also like that it's like that the tessellation, like it pops in and out, like it doesn't fade. It just there's almost like if you were in a world, like a 3D world where you're like in a game and you get closer, further away from objects that kind of disappear.
Yeah. If you're trying to find it, Vinny, on Art Blocks, it's under Collections Studio, and then you have to scroll down like
I think I found Broken Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. These are
so
awesome.
I think it's 0.013 maybe ETH each. It's not too much.
Wow.
It's like $30 or something like that.
That's great.
RD just gave us a medal shout out.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the fun parts about Marfa, was getting to see all these artists kind of create activations around their art. I thought that was one of the most inspiring parts of it.
That's really cool. Yeah, I wish I could have been there. The FOMO was large, but it was great. It was inspiring, seeing everybody, getting together, and it felt good.
It made me. Yeah, was it your first time, Vinny?
Second time.
Second time.
Yeah, so I'm thinking every year now. Got to make the journey. That one's well worth it. Very inspiring.
Nice. Yeah, it was my first time. I was definitely, now seeing how it works, I'm like, okay, I feel like if I go next year, I'll be much more prepared.
Yeah. For the long trek in.
Yeah.
Maybe next year don't have surgery right before, if you can just like avoid that.
That's part of the challenge of getting there.
They really are. They're telling the friction level is high.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So here's a piece that I thought, so I saw Vinny's choices. I'm the one who sees everybody's choices, and the comic choice got me thinking. And then I came across this Robbed into Hood, number 215. But there's a series, Conic NFT. And what they did was, my understanding is they took a whole bunch of these old comics from Robin Hood comic books from like the 40s all the way up to 2000, and they ran it through an AI and they messed with it and made all these weird variations. And I thought it was a really beautiful approach and like take on a mashup and an exploration of like, well, what is a comic,
Yeah,
so
the format.
Really distilling that down. So I thought this was really fun.
Yeah, I like the warping on the bottom too.
And the individual squares, you want to kind of see which, like, what's depicted in each scene, sort of, if they go together or not.
Yeah, and I could see somebody later coming in and just like putting some nonsense in here, and some fun words in there. But I thought this was really fascinating. Just as
words at the top of that, there something was kind of.
It looks like it was at some point, right? It definitely pulled from. But still seeing all these colors were really cool.
It's a fun idea. And the kind of the GAN artifacts give it such a posterized, like halftone newsprint texture too.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because traditionally, if it was like a halftone, it would be throughout the entire thing. But because it's AI, it's just doing it wherever it wants to, wherever it places it. So it's kind of like random. Like textures and accents. It's pretty cool.
I love it.
All right, Vinny, you're up next.
Ooh.
This is an artist we've had on the show before in terms of their artwork. Nikita Decor. Apologize if I'm saying that wrong, but their work is always lovely to see when it comes across. And of course, it's just kind of like chugging here, but there it goes.
There they go. There the butterflies go. Yeah, but was always stoked. Love their artwork. It's always such a pleasure. Yeah, like you're saying, when it comes across on the timeline or wherever we might view it. But this one was my first one I was able to pick up a few months back, and love those butterflies. And when they're kind of in the middle of that cube in the middle, they reminded me of these if I have any of those like mini DV tapes for old like Sony cameras.
Oh,
They're
wow. Nice.
blue and black packaging.
Yeah.
And I used to film a lot of skateboarding, and I'd always unwrap those mini DV tapes. And when those butterflies were all up in that kind of cube, it reminded me of a package of those tapes. And I mean, just of course the style of the artwork, this kind of not what you'd call it. It's not it's rendered bad kind of on purpose. I don't know if that's the right.
Yeah, it's rendered
Sorry.
in app. It's like a screen recording of the actual live.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like physics.
So you get to see
running.
all
the kind of
all the behind the scenes
under it or something.
Yeah. And I always like that when you watch his work, you can he gives you a glimpse of how he actually made it. It's like you're watching a live experiment.
Mm-hmm. And
I think my favorite
memories. I thought that was kind of a cool description in there. That body of work.
Mm-hmm. My favorite part about their work is whenever they add sound design to this.
Mm.
Because you just I don't know. I've seen 3D pipelines and working behind the scenes before the render, and you just never associate it with a final product. And to see the idea that he's had things like clanking and hitting and move, just wind sounds and forest sounds is really cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, there they are, kind of all
There they go,
packaged up in there. I just thought it was so cool, and of course, like another artist where you're like, exactly that's their artwork.
Yeah,
that's their kind of style.
Yeah.
So again, I'm always like to kind of find an artist and do like a deep dive on all their work, and if there's a piece or something available that I'm able to get, gladly we'll do it. So love the butterflies. Super fun.
Very cool. I'm going to throw it on there, Brian. Here we go.
Do it. See if good stuff.
Oh my goodness. Everything's chugging today.
And good stuff.
Good stuff. All right. Let's see. Brian, you're up next. Speaking of Marfa.
Yes.
Take you back to Marfa Sunrise 2025.
Yeah. This is a photograph by Kosher Cowboy. Minted this. Wanted to give him a shout out. The long drive down to Marfa, I got to carpool with him and chat with him, and got to get to know him even better. And he just is wonderful. And I thought this was a beautiful photo. It's also like, I don't know, I found Marfa so interesting in like all the different ways people stay. Like some people are in tents, some people are in RVs. These are like fancy hollowed out containers. And yeah, I just thought it's such a strange town in that like the house I stayed in looked like my grandma's house growing up. Everything there is just so bizarre. And I just thought this was a fun kind of juxtaposition between like weird modern hotel containers and then this like empty desert. But also just want to give a shout out to Kosher. He's the man.
That's awesome.
Love that. Shout out Kosher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, the architecture and kind
Very
of
cool.
all those neighborhoods. You kind of took a little time to drive around and go into the outskirts a little bit, and you'd see all these kind of from like one very modern glass shipping container. The next one's like a small little house that's been there for ages, and just these kind of weird little moments through the desert. It is a magical place. A beautiful
awesome.
photo captured a great moment.
Yeah, I gotta make it out there at some point. Very cool. All right, let's keep going down here.
I believe that piece is still minting. Maybe.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Put it out yesterday or the day before. 32
Nice.
owners. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Way to go, Kosher. Very cool. All right. Here's a piece that I found that I thought was really awesome. I don't own. This is from Rust NFT. I don't know. I've always really enjoyed their work in terms of like people doing glitch art, but it has like I love purple in general, so that hit first. But this sort of like glittery effect that's happening in the water was really nice with this like it's just flowing sand. And I don't know if you remember those toys from like the 90s that would have sand in the water, and it was like a flat plexiglass, and you'd flip it
Yeah.
upside down, and the sand would kind of make these designs. So it kind of reminded me of that. And just in general, it was like it just felt really nice, and Consumed by the Shadow was a cool play on words there.
It's cool. Yeah, I love that it's kind of like glitch art. It's trippy, but it also, I mean, maybe it's the compression from the stream, but it reminds me of like 8-bit or like 32-bit like Genesis graphics or something.
Yeah.
It's just got this, it feels like it could be a scene in like a video game almost.
You're trying to chug up the hill, the long road ahead. It's pushing up.
Yeah.
Kind of like me pressing the button to see it larger. Okay. We'll just leave it there.
It's really cool.
Yeah, no, it is really cool. And there's some glitch art, that I like, but other glitch art that's just so intense that I'm like, what am I even looking at? Whereas I could look at this for, a long time and just enjoy it.
A little easier on the eyes.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
glitch is a texture here, not a filter.
Right. That's a good way to put it. Very cool. All right. Vinny, you got one more here. Let's pull up this piece here. Mika Ben Amar. And the name of the piece is HTTPS. It's a /internet flowers bouquet 73.jpg. I thought that was kind of amazing in and of itself. And then it reminded me of which flower is not real. So I have to pass that test before I can get my password.
Yeah, I think she built like a Chrome extension. So every website she would visit, it would just screenshot if there was a flower on it, and then they would build these bouquets.
Incredible. That's incredible.
Screenshots. So that's so cool. Internet garden, very cool.
Personal browsing history using a Chrome extension.
Yeah,
she built. Brilliant.
Cool. Yeah, I thought that was a cool way to use your kind of browsing history and kind of picking these flowers along the way from different sites. She would visit.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
It also reminds me of like the kind of captcha bots. That's like click the photos of the flower.
That's what I was trying to explain.
One, I couldn't. Very abstract, and you're like, I'm not sure if I should click that one.
Is that a flower?
Make me do it again, or. So yeah, I thought they were cool. A lot of the other ones are really nice too, but kind of creating those 9 flowers to make a lovely bouquet, which is nice.
I love that. That's awesome. That's a great conceptual piece. Picking flowers from websites.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
That's good stuff.
That's absolutely good stuff.
That should get some Art Basel exposure. That's some artsy stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
You guys gonna go to Art Basel in Miami?
No, don't have a reason yet.
Maybe I want to, but it's maybe. You're heading down there?
Heard much going on yet.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of like right there with maybe.
Yeah.
It would be nice. It's always fun. All right, Brian, you are up with your last piece, sir. Speaking of Art Basel and people that I met in Basel a couple of years ago for the first time, that's where we met this artist here, Phil Heel.
Yep.
Shout out Phil.
Shout out Phil, yeah. With this beautiful piece, Apex.
Yeah. And so Phil created this series on Transient, which I think some of them are still available. I think probably like half of them have sold at this point. But it's this kind of like storyline about these characters. This piece stood out to me because it's really powerful. He said it was inspired by Frank Frazetta, who did all of those kind of like Conan the Barbarian type artworks. And I can see the influence on kind of the posing.
For sure.
But I thought he did an awesome job. I mean, the lighting, the colors, everything pops really nicely. And it's cool to see Phil kind of keep growing his style and skills.
Awesome. Look at that twinkle in his eye. He's got his eye on they're hunting something down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's vicious.
Mm-hmm.
No, Phil's work is great. We had a lot of comic inspired work this week.
Yeah, we did.
It's really cool. Right? And Phil's been building out this kind of this world that he's been drawing for a while now. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, I don't know if you click on the collection, you can see the other works.
We'll see if let me see if I can get in there. Ripples,
yeah.
It looks like
So
about
good.
half of them have sold so far.
Look at that. Wow.
I like the splash one. It's very cool.
Yeah.
The treasure.
Oh, that animation one.
Splash,
You'll like that one, Adam. The last one.
Oh yeah. Let me take a look here. Just want to see. Oh.
Limbo.
Whoa.
Wow.
Damn. That's awesome. Oh,
Very comic.
that's cool.
Yeah, especially that last slide, that bold black and white one.
I want to ask Phil, how does he put the skin back on? Does he get
Yeah.
like, is this a one-time effect? Wow.
That's cool.
Very
Shout out,
cool,
Phil.
man.
Good job.
Shout out Phil. Let's throw it in there. Here you go, bud. Good stuff. All right. Speaking of animation, let's go from one extreme to the other, from tons of animation to a very simple and elegant approach to animation. Speaking of simple cat.
What a gem.
I fell in love. I mean, like, all the animations are, this pared down and, straight to the point. This is GM Cat number 104. There's a whole series of these, and this was just like so great.
Yeah,
I could see
the hand in the pocket is such a stupid but funny idea.
It's perfect though. It's such a laissez-faire,
Not a care in the world, just cruising.
Yeah,
I will get through this city on my own time.
This is cool. I haven't seen these. I'm excited to dig through them.
Yeah, the whole collection is fantastic.
Simple Cat, shout out.
Simple Cat. Where did that collection? Of course, I clicked out of that and into. I think it was this one. See this one? Cat Power.
Cat Power.
Definitely worth checking out more of their work.
We'll do some deep dives after this.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right. Very cool. Yeah. And so, like I said, all that artwork will be linked up later. And everybody can go check that out. And it's so funny because I moved stuff around on the stage. Let me see, where is that video? There it is. Boom. And we're back. But Vinny, before we let you go, you got anything coming up? Anything that you want to shout out? You got, I know your show is wrapping up in Baltimore on the 2nd, November 2nd, you said.
Yep.
But outside of that, what should we be on the lookout for, if anything?
I mean, a bunch of stuff. One, got to give a shout out. Daniel Koth, DK. Blue Skies.
DK.
He's
cool. Popped into the chat today.
Pieces, big project. Shout out Jules as well. Put out some great work in Marfa. So the good squad. Shout out them.
Looked amazing.
My end, we're going to be celebrating my letters 4-year anniversary later
Whoa.
this 6 days.
Congrats.
Thank you. Crazy. So I always try to do something there. So I think I'm going to have an edition artwork I'm going to give out to some select letter holders. I also did some, got them right here, some fun hand printed kind of one-off watercolor screen prints. Got like a bunch of different ones here. So I think
nice.
Put those up on my web store, send them out to some letter holders, kind of celebrate that. And then I think I'm gonna work on a meme card. I have one in the books that I've been trying the last couple months.
Very cool.
I'm trying to wade my feet into those waters, and which has been fun.
I'll see you there. I've got an idea or 2 ideas, and we'll see which one kind of sticks.
Exciting.
We'll play in the sandbox.
Yeah. So
I'm excited.
A lot of physical, digital stuff. Just making a lot per usual. Trying to get my head straight and push forward with some of these fun projects. So excited for the couple months to come, and appreciate you guys having me on and for all the love and support.
Of course, dude. Absolutely. I'm a day one letters holder. Excited to see what you do.
Oh yeah. And I got something for you. One of these prints has your name on it.
Even better.
Amazing. And before we go, I also just wanted to say a shout out to last week's last episode's guest, Rocket Girl, who has a drop today. Eidolon is going on OpenSea. 404 pieces that look just so good. So best of luck.
Keep an eye on it because it's probably going to sell out in the next hour or two. That'd be my guess. Because I think shortly it'll go to like the next phase and then public. So keep an eye on that one.
Nice.
Well, I heard some of that. I don't know if that was just my Wi-Fi or not.
I
don't know.
Okay,
cool.
Okay. You know what? It's probably just me. Vinnie, this is wonderful.
You got a lot of
Thank
tabs
you so much
open,
for coming.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I do. I have too many tabs.
Great to see y'all. Talk again soon.
Yep.
Brian, I'm gonna hit you up. I got something for you.
Great.
Amazing. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we will catch you on the next one.
See you later.